Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to the NetApp webinar. My name is Ifat Perry, and I'm the Product Marketing Manager in the NetApp Cloud Innovation Center. The topic of our today's session is about enterprise application in the cloud, how to meet the challenges and win the benefits with ONTAP Cloud. My colleague Yuval Calderon is here with us today. Yuval is the cloud solution architect in our team, and he'll present the technical part of this demo. Some housekeeping before we start. The session is being recorded, so the audio is closed. Still, if you have any questions, you can send them through the question section in the GoToWebinar window at any time, and we'll try to address them during the session. If not, then we have a Q&A portion in the session at the end. The session will include a live demo, and it will be a total of about 40-45 minutes. So when we talk about enterprise application, we refer to your production workloads and to any other critical support system in your organization. It may be a customer-facing or back-office system running databases, web applications, file services, or anything else. In this webinar session, we will talk about the challenges which are included in implementing an enterprise application and the concerns regarding cloud solutions in general. Then we will look at the ONTAP Cloud and how it helps you address these challenges and what are the main benefits. So what are the main business concerns when looking at the enterprise application data management? Your production workloads and critical systems cannot incur any downtime or data loss in any case. So business continuity is a mandatory requirement. Compliance and regulation as regards to data security, data protection, or disaster recovery, business agility, which usually means quick time to market to meet new business goals, address new markets, and so on. And reducing costs and expenses is always a concern. But another angle or aspect for the cost and expenses is the flexibility, the ability to trade CapEx for OpEx. What are the concerns in moving any application to the cloud? The main issue is, do I have to rewrite my application? Rewriting application is very complex and very impractical. So is there another way? Maybe evolution. If you could lift and shift your application to the cloud and then later make changes if needed to meet the specific requirements of the cloud architecture. And what about process compatibility? Will I have to recreate all the application management processes? But this may be very lengthy and expensive. Another concern is how to keep the same performance and SLAs, and issues regarding to hybrid environments. When you start working in the cloud, you still have your on-premises system. How is everything going to work together? So talking about hybrid cloud and the hybrid challenge in general, NetApp is really an innovator in that space. NetApp came up with a data fabric vision, which means that NetApp is committed to enable the customers to manage, access, and protect data anywhere in any mixed environment, and that includes on-premises or in the cloud, private or public cloud, and also multi-cloud providers, like if you're working with AWS and with Azure. The tools that NetApp provides will have to be able to move and sync your data easily, fast, and securely between the different data systems. So let's start talking about the ONTAP Cloud, the solution for your enterprise application in the cloud. ONTAP Cloud is actually a fully fledged version of the ONTAP system, which some of you may know, but it's running in the cloud and consuming native cloud storage. So it's the same familiar network brand with the ONTAP system, with the same interfaces, processes, and tools that you might be familiar with already. And that also makes deployment and the training much easier. It's a mature and proven technology. ONTAP Cloud is already implemented with more than 1,000 customers, implemented successfully with all the features and the efficiency features. One of the main strengths of ONTAP Cloud is the Snap Mirror, the replication technology of ONTAP. It's a feature that allows efficient data mobility, and the reasons why it's very efficient is the fact that it's moving only deltas, not all duplication of copies between different destinations, but only moving the deltas. And also these deltas are compressed and deduplicated. It's supporting and enabling hybrid environments, so it can move the data between different ONTAP systems, regardless if they are on the cloud or on-premise, or again, multi-cloud providers. And also you can define the schedules of the synchronizations according to your requirements. Snap Mirror also allows quick restore and mechanisms internally for quick failover and failback for the cases of high availability or disaster recovery or any other need. Another tool is Flex Clone. Flex Clone is a feature that can take snapshots and make it a writable volume with zero capacity penalty and almost zero time to create. So it's very useful for testing environments like DR environments or DevOps. So the message here is that the same features that NetApp developed for your on-premises systems also work and applies in the cloud and in a hybrid environment. Another strong capability of the NetApp systems is the storage efficiency. Storage is always a concern because the data that you have always grows, and therefore the costs are getting higher, and we need to keep that under control. Network snapshots, it's the first feature. It allows you to create many recovery points for your data without creating full copies. Next one is the deduplication, which is a process that search identical blocks and remove extra copies. Flex Clone that we mentioned before, again, it allows you to take a snapshot and make it a writable volume with zero capacity penalty. Then we have spin provisioning, which only allocates blocks only when they are needed, instead of allocating upfront, so you can pay as you go, and you don't have to pay for something that you don't consume. And this is especially cost-saving method in the cloud. And the other ones are the compression and the compaction, which are already familiar with. Another strong efficiency feature in the cloud is steering to Amazon S3. It allows you to differentiate between hot and cold data and steer data to S3, which is cheaper than the EBS. You can set a policy that automatically funnels data directly to S3. For example, you can steer off snapshots, or you can steer the DR, the disaster recovery copy, to S3, and this will greatly reduce your EBS footprint and therefore also reduce costs. So ONTAP Cloud moves seamlessly between the different storage tiers, and it does it dynamically, and the application level does not have to deal with it or to be aware of it. So that's a huge cost saving. Another item which we mentioned as very important for any enterprise application is the high availability with the synchronous replication. It's obvious why it's important. Critical applications must keep operating all the time avoiding any revenue loss and data loss or customer issues. Also, it's important for compliance with regulations and best practices. So ONTAP Cloud supports high availability on multiple availability zones. So you can keep the two components in different locations. It guarantees synchronous data replications with automatic failover and failback, and we will see it soon in the demo. It also guarantees complete data loss prevention and quick failover time, guaranteed less than 60 seconds, and also non-disruptive upgrade. So you have to replace or upgrade the software version or an application. It's done without interrupting your operation. Another important component is the Cloud Manager. The Cloud Manager seamlessly manages the cloud provisioning and your whole environment or orchestration. You can launch an ONTAP Cloud system in minutes, and it's ready to run your enterprise application. So it allows quick cloud onboarding, and then with the functions of Discover and Replicate, you can simply lift and shift your application from your on-premises to the cloud. And it's also useful for disaster recovery and backup, and you can deploy your environment very quickly. Again, we will see that soon in the demo. So we reached the demo. So I'm going to hand over to my colleague Yuval.
Okay, hi guys. So I'll demonstrate to you how to deploy ONTAP Cloud and how to manage it. So what I have right here is our Cloud Manager application. Basically, what the Cloud Manager application allows you to do is to manage your ONTAP Cloud and your cloud environment with a very easy and intuitive UI, and also very strong API capabilities. What you get when you start and log in into Cloud Manager is basically a single pane of glass of the systems that you have deployed and ready to go. So I have an on-prem system right here, a single node ONTAP Cloud, and an HA system. And in order for me to create a new ONTAP, I'll click the Add Environment button. When I click the Add Environment button, I get the selection of single node, an HA, or even an Azure ONTAP Cloud. Once I click the HA option, I'll give my environment a name and credentials. As Ifat mentioned, this is the ONTAP Cloud is just another ONTAP, so I can use my credentials later to log in into System Manager running on the ONTAP, or use even CLI if I want to. So the next option I have is to choose between a multi-availability zone HA or a single availability zone HA. I'll go for the multi-availability zone, and I will choose where to place my HA system. So I'll choose different AZs to get the maximum protection. And I'll click Continue. Here I'll give the access IPs, the floating IPs to the system. So because I chose a multi-AZ, the access to the system will be done through floating IPs that will be part of the route table of that VPC. So I choose the route tables that I want to deploy at that. If I want to do that at-rest encryption, whether I would like to do a yearly option or a pay-as-you-go model, both are supported by ONTAP Cloud. I'll go with the pay-as-you-go. We created some pre-canned configurations to allow you to deploy with ease. So if you want to do a cost-effective DR setup, we have it ready for you, or if you want to do production workloads, we also created one that fits that description. I'll click the custom creation so we can go through the steps. So here I can choose the size of the system that I want. So we have 2, 10, and 360. The terabytes here do not imply that I'll provision from the get-go 360 terabytes. It just means that the system can reach that limit. As we first mentioned, the Cloud Manager is here to orchestrate your ONTAP Cloud, and one of the things that it knows how to do is to deploy new EBS disks once we are running out of space. So when you start, it will start with 1 disk, and it will purchase for you more disks only when you need them. Here I can choose the instance type. I can go with a very small instance. I can go up to a very big instance. Depends on your workload. And it's not set in stone. So if I want to grow to a bigger instance later on or go to a smaller instance, I can go ahead and change it afterwards. In an HA setup, it will be even non-disruptive. So it will change it one after the other. I need to change this version. Great. Here I can choose the underlying storage. I can do SD1, GP2, or IO1 for HA. I can also choose to do the S3 tiering if I want to enable that cost saving. It's important to note that my selection here is only the first aggregate of this. I can mix and match and create different types of workloads and run them on different types of disks in the same ONTAP Cloud. And continue. I can create my first volume. I can create from here either NFS or CIS. ONTAP Cloud also supports iSCSI. I can choose to do a snapshot policy on that volume, and I can choose to do storage efficiencies like thin provision, dedupe, and compression, or not enable them on that specific volume. And that's it. Once I click that I understand, I will create an HA system with an ONTAP Cloud standard running on ONTAP 9.2 on a C4 to extra large. So I'll click go, and in around 30 minutes, the system will be deployed and ready to go for you. The other thing I want to show you is basically our HA capabilities. So if I click on my ONTAP Cloud HA that I have already running, I can go ahead and take a look at the different status that I have. If I'll go to the HA status, I can see that I have 2 nodes running currently and a mediator that looks on them and makes sure they're alive. If I'll go to my AWS console, I can also see those in my AWS console. So I can see the node 1, node 2, and the mediator. What I'll do now is I'll shut down node 1. And in a few minutes, we'll be able to see in our Cloud Manager that the node has been shut down, but the system is still active and working. So I'll give it a few minutes to take in effect, and we'll go back. So we can already see that it's in degraded mode, actually. So if we go to the HA status, it will tell us that node 1 is stopping and the system is running now on 1 node. As you can note, everything is still functioning. I can still see my volume. I can even mount it and it will work. Everything is functioning on 1 node that is the surviving node. It's important to note that the client wouldn't need to do anything. So everything will be automatically fail over to the surviving node. Once the node is back working, it will go back and allow you to continue to work. The other thing I want to show you is the replication technology. So NetApp has SnapMirror, which is a very efficient replication engine. In order to utilize it from here, I can do it between my cloud, inside my cloud, but also between on-premise and AWS. all I need to do is basically drag and drop my ONTAP, and it will allow me to start replicating volume. So I can choose the volume that I want. I can choose the type of disk I wanted to replicate to. Okay. Create that one. I can throttle it. I can choose the type of policy that I want, snap mirror, snap off, and I can choose the schedule. So I'll do every 5 minutes. So once I click that I understand, it will basically start the snap mirror, do any configuration it needs to do on the source or destination, and will set up the replication of that volume. In that way, I can move data very easily. I can keep that replicated if I want to create for my enterprise application also at the R side, and it's a very easy way to set up replication. So I can see it started. The other thing we have is something called replication status. Replication status basically tells me exactly what's the status of each one of the replications that I'm doing. I can go ahead and break it from here or reverse sync it, and I can easily control my replications from here and see what's their status. I'll now turn back to Ifat, and she'll continue the presentation. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to write them in the question section.
Okay, thank you, Yuval, for the demo. So we saw the Cloud Manager in action. We saw how easy it is to define new environments and to replicate from on-premise to the cloud with a snap mirror technology. We saw the high availability in action. And now we can look at some customer success stories. The first one is the Cordant Group. This success story demonstrates how the lift and shift works and how this customer is working in a hybrid environment. The Cordant Group is a UK-based company that is doing security and other type of services. The business drive for this project was Cordant Group wanted to move IT operations to the cloud in order to get the CapEx to OpEx flexibility and also to reduce IT costs. So they moved their IT infrastructure and their enterprise applications to AWS Cloud with lift and shift, again, capabilities of to the Cloud Manager. They did this quick data migration. And now they're using the same applications, the same processes as they did before, now in a hybrid environment. And you can visit our website later and download this case study and read the whole story, how the project went and what are the benefits that were gained. Another customer story is Eidos Media. Eidos Media is a software house that provides content creation and delivery services to more than 600 newspapers worldwide, including big names like the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, and the Times. They implemented the ONTAP Cloud. Their goal was to accelerate the content delivery and the development capabilities and how to achieve quick time to market. So after a simple migration project, they are running now their workloads in a hybrid environment and have the benefit and the agility of a quicker time to market. So if we are going to summarize, what are the main benefits in the ONTAP cloud solution for enterprise application that we saw today? So the enterprise key features, which we've seen, the replication technology with SnapMirror, the high availability, disaster recovery, and the hybrid environment support. Then the business benefits, the low cost, which with the S3 tiering can start from 3 cents per gigabyte. The licensing of the product, which could be the traditional license model or the pay-as-you-go, that's where you consume by the hour instead of upfront, which is very, very beneficial in the cloud. The ability to trade CapEx for OpEx and the minimal downtime and failures that we experience with the high availability and the quick failover and failback. The efficiency features, the tiering to S3, the deduplication, the thin provisioning, and the ease of use. We saw how simple it is to onboard in the cloud with the cloud manager, the lift and shift, and again, using the same NetApp, ONTAP, the same processes and the same tools. So we invite you to try it now. We offer you to start with a 30 days free trial. All you have to do is get into the NetApp Cloud Solution website and start from there. Or you can start from the AWS Marketplace or the Azure Marketplace. You can set up the environment in less than an hour and start building your environment. And also I provided here the email address of our support team, the cloud architecture team, that you can approach at any time. Also, I urge you to visit our website. We recently launched our Cloud Data Services portal, which is a single location where you can launch the Cloud Manager, the ONTAP Cloud, and the other services, the other cloud services by NetApp. You can visit there and log in and learn more about our cloud solutions, about more use cases, and about more customer success stories. So it's cloud.netapp.com. So we're reaching the end of the presentation part of the session. We would like to do a quick survey now. So I'll put up the poll page. Okay, so while I'll give it a couple of minutes for the poll, maybe Yuval will start taking some questions. Yuval?
Sure, I'll take the questions I see so far, and feel free to ask any questions that you want. So there was a question about the protocols that can be delivered with ONTAP Cloud, and where will the client reside? Would they reside on premise or will they reside on the cloud? So in terms of protocols, we support iSCSI, NFS, and SIFT to all of their versions. And where does your client reside depends on what you're trying to achieve. You can obviously mount an AWS ONTAP Cloud from on-premise. You do have to note the latency you may occur. So in NFS environment, for example, it may be not that efficient to mount an NFS volume from the cloud to on-premise, but it's definitely doable and can work. It all depends on what you're trying to achieve and how you architect your solution and what you have in between the cloud and your on-premise. But your client can be on both places. And the second question was about certifications of ONTAP Cloud. So there's definitely a course, specific course for ONTAP Cloud that's getting made. There's also the general ONTAP training, which is applicable for ONTAP Cloud as well, as it's just another ONTAP in terms of the way it behaves. And there's a question about where do you host your machines if you're using ONTAP Cloud. So as I mentioned, you can host them either on-premise and mount them, or you can host them in AWS or Azure and mount NFS or SIS into them. There's also a question about the type of disk that we can use. So we support, as I mentioned, IO1, GP2, SD1, and SD1, and it depends on the workload you're trying to run. You'll choose the type of disk. Each one of them has their own performance consideration, and SD1 is supported only on the single node. It's more made for the DR use case in our case. There's also a question about the version upgrade. So a version upgrade is done in HA in a non-destructive way. It will be managed completely from the Cloud Manager. So the Cloud Manager will promote you that there's new version available, and it will simply update one node at a time to make sure your HA is functioning. Okay, the last question is about support. So the product is fully supported 24/7. Once you activate the support, it's part of the license itself.
Okay, thank you, Yuval. So we are running out of time. Any additional questions that we did not address now, we will get back to you by email. Thank you very much for participating today. A link to the webinar video and the presentation will be soon available in our website, and we will also send it to you by email. So thank you, and bye-bye.